All right, here we go. Happy Hump Day. It is Ben at 10. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine here in the Extol Media Studios in New Albany, Indiana. And we are looking at a beautiful day today. Wonderful Wednesday. We get a nice, a break from talking about severe weather. And it might be a long break from talking about severe weather as well. And again, I am meteorologist Ben Peine, P-E-I-N-E. That's where you can find my Facebook page, Extol Weather on Facebook. We'll put some more clips there that you'll see, some more weather information from time to time. We're also live there as well. Extolmag.com/weather has our live stream. Extol Media on YouTube. Search there, like, subscribe. And you can watch us full screen on your TV or your computer, your laptop, your tablet, whatever you have there. So it is Wednesday. It is May 21st. We're getting closer to Memorial Weekend, and unfortunately, a much cooler pattern that we're going to be talking about through the long-range outlook. We've got a special guest, Brad Weddington, coming on here in just about 10 minutes from his backyard in beautiful Henryville, Indiana. We're going to be talking about all things around the home. Of course, home building can often be weather related as well. So we got a lot that we're going to be talking about as we take a live look outside. It'll get a little bit breezy out there, starting to, as we warm up. We have some moisture from yesterday. We're getting a little bit of evaporation, so we're seeing some fair weather cumulus clouds out there, but we should see plenty of sunshine. Not expecting rain today. There's just a small chance of an isolated shower or two tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. I think we get a break Friday, Saturday, and then unfortunately Sunday, Monday towards Memorial Day, some more unsettled weather. We'll be back in that forecast. I want to give a shout out to some of our partners, Ivy Tech. You can go to ivytech.edu, head to locations, head to Sellersburg. Look how quick and easy that is. Even I can do it. So you belong here. The Sellersburg campus, you can learn all about the campus, the academic program offered, the classes there in Sellersburg, student resources, future student resources. They'll have Tuesdays at the Tech where you can get one-on-one information, how to get started. So they've got partnerships with high schools all around Southern Indiana, really helping kids to get a head start, like my daughter, who's got over 30 credits from Ivy Tech already. So 42 programs offered. Give them check them out at ivytech.edu. Lions Roofing. So they are hiring a roofing repair technician. If you want to go to lionsroofingco.com. If you still have any roofing issues, you can submit your information there, get a free estimate. You can call 812-294-3595. Great folks there. Friends of mine, good people. That's who you want to work with. More about good people in WSB. People you know wherever you go. We personally bank with them, business banking. If you need a home equity line, they are there to find a solution for you. They've got locations all across Southern Indiana in WSB. Check them out as well. Libs Paving, also hiring. You can go into the upper right-hand corner, Libs, L-I-B-S, paving.com. Click on the careers little circle there in the upper right-hand corner, and they've got an application there for you. If you would like a job opportunity, a new career, head to Libs Paving Co. Great people as well. Brad Weddington, again, is going to be our special guest today. WeddingtonCustomHomes.com. You can see a lot of his builds that he has done. He built our house about 11 years ago. There's testimonials. You can learn more about him, photo gallery, and all that good stuff as well. So we're going to be talking with Brad here in just about 5 minutes. And if you want to become a partner with us, you can contact me, Ben at extolmagazine.com, Jason at extolmag.com. We've been averaging over 2 million views per month over the last 90 days. And of course, that is all because of you guys out there. So thank you so much for the support. And again, this here is Brad Weddington of Brad Weddington Custom Homes, and we'll be talking with him in just a moment. And we are going to get to that forecast here in just a second. And we had some amazing rainbows across the area. I don't know if you had a chance to see that. So as the storms were exiting off to the east, we had the setting sun coming in, and I knew this was going to be a good one because I was driving my son home from baseball in Lanesville. Unfortunately, it got canceled, suspended. They're going to continue that conference game today at 6:30. But on that way home, I was like, probably the entire ride home, we're going to have this setup where you have the low sun angle, you got a little bit of light rain, the storm in the distance, and it set the stage for some amazing rainbows across the area. So did you get a chance to check that out? Feel free to drop a picture in the comment. As always, the first viewer here, we've got Beverly Hagist. A good morning from Borden, Indiana. Sue Shively saying, sure is chilly. Yeah, we're looking at highs in the 60s tomorrow all the way through Sunday. Our warmest days maybe just be low 70s, like today and then Memorial Day. And we've got some more rain chances we're going to talk about in that forecast as well. Vicky Berger, good morning. At my oncologist right now. Ball game tonight. Hope everything goes well for you. And the ball game should be in good shape too. Lillian Lasley, beautiful out today with that sun shining. And we can bring up the comments with that sun shining out there right now. Tanya, yeah, averaging 2 million views. That's just on my platform. Of course, we've got more views on Extol Media, Extol Weather, and all that good stuff too. And good morning here from Edward Jewell. Thanks for watching this morning. So again, there's that beautiful start to our Wednesday morning on this May 21st. Now back to a look at those rainbows. I'm going to bring this up full screen. This was Michaela Howard from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Got a little picture of that double rainbow, big rainbow over, I believe, some softball players there. If you look there at the bottom middle, from Haley Teeter from Corden, Indiana. That's kind of where we were heading away from when we saw that huge rainbow. And then Jennifer Eversman in Borden, Indiana, showing the brightness of that rainbow. And it's double rainbow side by side there. So just glad to dodge the severe weather threat. Yesterday we had 3 rounds of showers and thunderstorms. And thankfully for us, the severe weather threat remained to our south. Now for that bird nerd segment. So this morning, I got to record the American robin, the tufted titmouse, the Carolina wren, the Carolina chickadee. Those are some of the normies that we see all the time. But then you get the blue-gray gnatcatcher, the summer tanager, they're really bright and red, the eastern wood pewee, starting to learn its call. Red-bellied woodpecker we see a lot. This one's kind of a rare one that I don't see very often. The Baltimore Oriole flying by, beautiful bird there. Decent baseball team sometimes. Scarlet tanager and the northern cardinal. So it is still the peak migration season for the birdies out there. Today's forecast, 72 degrees, partly sunny, mild and breezy, wind out of the west at around 15 to 30 miles per hour. And our sunset at 8:52. Just a nice Wednesday out there for you. The play ball forecast, that was a complicated one yesterday. We were supposed to be at home in Borden for baseball. And then the fields drained better in Lanesville, so shifted the game to Lanesville for one of our last conference games. And then we got the 3 innings in. We got the storm to move in, had some lightning. Thought that maybe it would come through quickly enough. The rain spread out. It lasted for like an hour, and the field got too wet, suspended. Going to try to continue that game today. So frustrating spring ball season, no doubt about that. But for this evening, those temperatures show upper 60s, low 70s, but tack on some winds at around 15 to 30. It's going to feel cooler than that. So it might be jacket weather for the play ball forecast here for this evening, but it looks like it will be dry for us, just a bit on the cool side. Speaking of cool side, our low tonight at 52 degrees, partly cloudy with some cool breezes, northwest wind at around 5 to 15 miles per hour. And tomorrow, and we're going to jump ahead to the 7-day forecast. We have some rain chances, again, Sunday and into Monday with a lot of 60s on the way. I'm going to dig more into that 7-day forecast here in just a moment. But I'm going to back this right up real quickly to Weddington Custom Homes. We're going to be talking to Brad here in just a couple of seconds. We've got another comment coming in from Tanner Gardner. Hello from New Albany. How's the weather look? We're talking about right now, Tanner. It looks beautiful for today. Mostly dry through Saturday. Maybe a couple light rain showers tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. But then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday looks like our next good chance for some rain. So Tanner, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the comment there. And Tanya saying, I just filmed the one you mentioned, rare bird. I captured a baby last June. Very cool. Yeah, it is time. It's a great time to look at the birds out there. And speaking of the birds, I was talking with Brad Weddington here just a second ago. Brad has now popped up, and I heard a bunch of the birds in your backyard here just a second ago. Can you hear me, Brad?
Yes, I got you loud and clear,
There.
and I can hear
Look at
all the
that
birds in the
scenery.
background. That's my backyard.
That's
Um,
beautiful, buddy.
Thank you, and I can hear all the birds in the background. But as far as what type of bird they are, I have no idea.
You got to get the Merlin app. You got to get connected. You got to start turning into a middle-aged old man like myself.
I think I'm already there. I believe.
All right, so we're going to ask you a few questions. As always, this is Wednesdays with Weddington. You can go to weddingtoncustomhomes.com, learn more about Brad and his work across the area. Does amazing work with custom homes in Southern Indiana. Wednesdays with Weddington. You can also search that on Facebook. We're going to be putting some of our clips there so you can revisit some of our questions and answers here with Brad. So to get started, let's talk about interest rates. Because when you built my house, the interest rate was like 4% that fall, I think, and then we refinanced down to like 2%. So we probably will never refinance again if it stays that low and rates are as high as they are now, and if they stay that high. So when is a good time to build? Do you wait for the rates? Do you wait for that perfect timing, or do you make it happen and then maybe try to refinance down the road? Or if you're just, financially in a good spot, you just go ahead and do it anyway. What do you think about trying to find that right time and trying to play that game with interest rates?
There's really no perfect timing as far as interest rates go. There's people that are lucky sometimes, but it's like trying to time the stock market. I mean, it's almost impossible to do. What I do like to tell people though is basically the best analogy that I can come across is you marry the home, you date the interest rate. So if you're ready to build and you have all your ducks in a row as far as plans, specs, what you're expecting to pay for it, I would say go ahead, and then see what the interest rates are due, because you're always going to have the ability to refinance that home. What we see now in a very stark contrast from 2008, where we were in 2008, the industry was overbuilt, so that's what kind of really affected the market then. The issue we have now is, even though interest rates are a little bit on the high side compared to what we're used to over the past 10 years, the demand is still there. So what I like to tell people is, if you think the price of homes are high now, wait until those interest rates dip. If those interest rates dip, our price, what we're paying for, call it lumber, concrete, you name it, those items will go up. It's just a simple supply and demand structure. So my advice would be, if you're financially ready to do it now, go ahead and have at it. And then hopefully in the future, those interest rates do tick down. But you also run a risk of the interest rates might still go up. So you
Yeah.
might be better to time it now. So who knows? At the end of the day, only you in your personal situation are going to know if it's the right time to do it or not.
Yep. Very good point there. And switching gears here to this is kind of the thing I was thinking about: gutter guards or not. So I do not have gutter guards on my house, and I just recently cleaned all the stuff out of the gutters. My mom has gutter guards that
Yeah.
you put on there, and even the gutter guards can still collect
Yes.
all this time of year, especially with everything falling from the trees and everything like that. So what are the cost benefit? What do you think about as far as gutter guards?
I think they're always going to be a good choice. And there's a myriad of gutter guards out there. So I'm not brand specific on any of those. Any of them are going to be better than none. Um, but there's no fix all gutter guard. Like you just said, on your mother's house, we put a really nice gutter guard on there. It's still going to need some maintenance every couple of years, just from leaves landing on it and then deteriorating. But even on my home right now, where I'm at, we've been talking about birds, and it kind of sparked something in my mind. I do not have gutter guards on my house. I need them. And the reason I need them is birds have a habit of building nests in my
Ah,
gutters for some reason. Well, The bad thing about that is they'll eventually wash down the downspout, and
Yeah.
my downspouts are piped to daylight. So
Yep.
the bird's nest will fall down in the downspout and get stuck. Then the dogs can hear the birds in there, and they chew on the bottom of the gutters to try to get to the birds.
That's the situation you don't forecast very often. Yeah.
Right. You don't plan for that. So you kind of backpedal and go, maybe being in the middle of a field, I still need gutter
Yeah.
guards for that reason. So every once again, every situation is different. But I prefer them. Number one, if you live in an area with a lot of trees, and number
Yeah.
two, like I said, the birds will build nests in there, and next thing you know, they're trapped in those downspouts. And either A, you have a dog that chews on the downspouts, or B, you've got a clog and you've got to disconnect that piping and remove that. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
hope that helps.
It does. And I got a reminder this year. I don't know if it was a year or two since I cleaned my gutters, but I was starting to get washout down below. The dirt on the ground was starting to wash out because it couldn't get down the downspout and it was just flooding over. And so now I've got to buy dirt to fill in
Yes.
the washout areas. So keep an eye on those gutters there. All right. Speaking of storm damage and storms and weather and how it relates to your business and everything. But what should you watch out for? I would say especially the elderly, maybe, if they are getting quotes. There are predatory practices that people that actually travel to different places in the country after storms have ripped apart homes or have done damage. Is there something to look out for after storm damage as far as scammers?
Yes, unfortunately, that's part of any business. People are trying to sometimes take advantage in that industry. We actually call them storm chasers, is what we call them. The ones that follow around after large storms, and they're very sharp as far as they'll come into a town that's been hit by tornadic activity, hail damage, wind damage, those type of things, and they'll set up an office in town. They'll have all their cell phones of a local area code, be it 502 or 812. So it's very hard to pick that out. So once again, as a member of the Building and Development Association of Southern Indiana, I would kind of gear you towards looking at that and seeing who's a member of that. And also, you mentioned Lions Roofing quite a bit. Uh, that is a local company that's been here for years. So I would look into the history of the company, see how long they've been around, because the problem is the profitability on storm damage versus new construction is quite a bit higher. So you'll see these companies come in like a flash in the pan. They do all this work. Hopefully they do the work, and then next thing you know, they're out of town and they're to the next storm. So you have to be leery of that. I would make sure the company that you're dealing with does have local roots, and has a good track record behind them.
Yeah, good point. I guess it's quick money for them. You get the adjuster to write a check and then they're in and out.
Exactly.
Uh, Real quick on this one, and then we might talk about some racing.
Okay.
You've got a pole barn behind you. I remember talking about pole barn house, and it's becoming so popular right now. And we don't have to dig too deep into this. Maybe we can save some of this for next week or a couple weeks from now. But what is the challenge today compared to 10 years ago? Has it changed at all as far as getting that financing for a pole barn house? What are some of the things to look at when thinking about going that direction?
Some of the things to look at when if you're gearing towards that pole barn home is a lot of banks will view that as a specialty home. So what that means in a specialty scenario is they're typically going to require more money down, because it's a larger risk for them, as far as if at the end of the day they foreclose and they have to resell it. It's a little harder to market because it is that specialty. But as far as a cost savings perspective, it's not near the percentage that you see online. It's the percentage is nowhere close. Um, Number one, if you do a true pole barn style home, you're in essence putting 6x6 posts into the ground, and those posts are warranted at 20 years. And a bank goes, well, why am I going to give you a 30-year mortgage on posts that are warranted in the ground for 20 years? So number one, you're going to have to definitely do what's called a monolithic slab. Uh, But even then, by the time you set the posts, you've set a 6x6 post every, call it 8 feet apart. Well, now you're going to have to frame in between that area. So at that point, the posts are almost a moot point. Like, you didn't need them in the first place because you're building a wall between them. And then not only that, on a pole barn like the one that I have behind me, my trusses are set on 4 foot on center. And you can go all the way up to 8 foot on center on your trusses, which works for a metal roof and no ceiling below. But if you're going to drywall that interior space, which I assume you would if you're going to live in it, those rafters are now going to have to be 2 foot apart. So you're going to add a lot more material to make it livable than what I think you expect. So we've built them before, but we've built them stick framed. They just have metal siding, but the framing is a very traditional stick frame home like we typically do.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to rewatch that to absorb all that information. And you said you could go for like 20 more minutes on that topic.
Oh, I
So,
could go.
yeah,
I could go for hours on it. It's just you see so many things online of I built this pole barn house for this amount of money, and then me as a builder, I go, wait a minute, and I'll crunch the numbers in the background, and I'm like, there's no way. There's just no way. So
They are
sometimes
cool,
you get a little bit of false
Yeah.
hope from those, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news when I tell people, that's not necessarily the case. So
They're cooled out. You see them in the
They are.
countryside with those big extra bays where you can put all your fun toys in and everything like that. But all right, before we wrap up here, we'll talk about racing. What do you have going on this weekend?
So Friday, we sponsor a ARCA racing car, Kimmel Racing out of Clarksville, Indiana. So we will be racing at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The race is Friday evening at 6 o'clock, and I believe you can watch it on Fox Sports 1.
Awesome, and good luck. They just had the PGA Championship there in Charlotte, so hopefully the weather's looking good for you guys.
It looks nice down there. It's going to be a little chilly up here this weekend, so it'll be nice to be in the warmth.
All right, we might pop you on Friday and see what it looks like down there if you're up for that.
Sounds good to me.
All right, buddy. Thanks for all the information. Again, you can probably rewatch some of these clips on Wednesdays with Weddington on Facebook, and head to WeddingtonCustomHomes.com. We'll see you later, Brad. Thanks for that beautiful background there in Henryville in your backyard.
Thank you, Ben.
See you, buddy. All right, that was Wednesdays with Weddington, and awesome information there. And I love the connection. A lot of it does connect to weather with building around the home, projects around the home. So if you have any questions for Brad, you can leave those in the comments, and I will take note of it, and we'll ask him for next week with Wednesdays with Weddington. And we are looking at some beautiful conditions on this Wednesday morning. It is live right now with Ben at 10 on my Facebook page, Extol Weather on Facebook, and Extol Media on YouTube, and extolmag.com/weather. And I am going to bring up extolmag.com/weather as we look at some current conditions across the area. And as we take a look down here, you got the 7-day forecast, which I will pop that up. We did that briefly a second ago. And we are looking at mostly dry conditions over the next several days. I say mostly because there is a small chance of a few light rain showers late in the day tomorrow evening. Other than that, cool is definitely the theme here. 66 that high tomorrow. Upper 60s Friday, Saturday. If you look bottom left, the normal high temperature this time of the year is 79 degrees. Normal low is 60 degrees, so we're going to be trending about 10 degrees, maybe a little bit more below normal for this time of the year. Looking dry right now Friday, Saturday, and then bringing back a rain chance, especially Sunday morning, and then upper 60s Sunday afternoon. It doesn't look like a washout, though. And then Monday, scattered showers likely, 72 that high. And it looks like it'll be cool enough. I'm not seeing really ingredients for severe weather, but it looks a bit unsettled with a general northwest flow. We're looking at mostly below normal temperatures here for an extended period of time. Still some showers likely next Tuesday, and then maybe next Wednesday looking dry. So as you go on down here, no severe weather threat for us today. That is off to our southwest. There's just a small slight risk, a little sliver there in northern Arkansas, southern Missouri. So again, we take a sigh of relief as a quieter weather pattern is taking hold for us. And as we look at the temperatures out there now, full screen on the interactive radar, you've got 68 in Louisville, 64 in the Knobs, 66 up around Sellersburg. So some mid 60s out there, but just not a whole lot of a warm up today, as we are going to see those temperatures in the lower 70s this afternoon. And I'm taking a peek up to the northeast of us, and that's where the rain showers are in western Ohio, northern Indiana. Those should skirt and stay up to the northeast of us for our Wednesday. So as we back out the view even more, there you can see the unsettled weather well off to the east, Pennsylvania, New York, into Virginia, and then up around Michigan and Wisconsin. Now the jet stream is going to stay pretty active for us, and that's why we are still going to see plenty of those rain chances, unfortunately, for Memorial Day. The unofficial start to summertime, not feeling like summertime this time around, again, unfortunately for our area. We go ahead and back out of the full screen view here, and again, another live look at the beautiful conditions across the area. I'm going to cough real quick, so I'm going to turn the mic off for a second. Still trying to clear out all those sinuses. So here's a live view there by the Falls of the Ohio. This is the fallsoftheohio.org cam, Falls of the Ohio Foundation, and just a lovely day above the Ohio River here along the New Albany and Clarksville waterfront. So things looking good out there. Now this is a little tool that I've used for probably over 20 years. Maybe longer, maybe since college, actually. So maybe we're talking 23 years or so. And it's still a very reliable place that you can go and be your own meteorologist. So this is a really cool tool. It's got a lot of the weather models that I talk about on a daily basis. And I just wanted to show you this for today. Since the weather's quiet, we can kind of look ahead and play around with this right here. So this is weather.code.edu. This is the College of DuPage out of Chicago. And look at all the weather models here across the top. So this is all free. Again, this is weather.cod.edu/forecast. You got the HER weather model, the RAP, the NAM 3 kilometer, the GIM, these are the Canadian weather models, the European weather model, GFS weather model, and some of these longer range and ensemble forecasts, which put together a lot of different weather models that you can look at. So this I have up is the NAM 3 kilometer that we often show on the different view. We got the 12Z, which is the 8 o'clock run. Z is Zulu time, by the way. That's Greenwich, the time zone out in England that we use around the world as one time, kind of like your Army time. We are 4 hours behind that. So in meteorology, that's the one thing you got to get used to in weather forecasting and look at the weather models. So you got to use Army time and then minus 4 hours this time of the year. It's minus 5 hours when we go back to standard time. So your 12Z is actually 8 a.m. Kind of complicated, I know. We've got a little comment popping in here. Thanks for watching, Carmen. Enjoy your Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in here. I know Carmen sometimes watches the replay. Thank you if you sometimes watch the replay, whether in the afternoon or evening. Again, I try to rewatch those, look at those comments and try to respond later in the day. So again, this is the NAM 3 kilometer. Shows that rain off to the northeast for today. Rain stays southwest tonight. Now this is tomorrow morning, and we're right here, by the way, right there. And as we look ahead, if your screen's big enough, you can see late tomorrow afternoon, this right here is 20Z. That is around 4 p.m. And then we go to 2Z. That is at 10 p.m. So really, it's showing kind of tomorrow evening a chance for a few of these showers that you see right there. Not a big deal, though. A lot of our Thursday is going to be dry. And then as we head into Friday, also looking dry across the area with active weather out to our west. Now, the GFS longer range weather model here. And again, you can do this exact same thing at home. If you are a full-on weather nerd, head to College of DuPage, weather.code.edu/forecast, and you've got these same models. This is all free data, by the way. So this is Friday, and we got a north breeze, so that's keeping it a little bit below, actually a decent amount below normal. This is Saturday, still dry as we head into our Memorial Day weekend. As we get into Sunday, the weather models have been calling for this little system to kind of skirt into our area. So that's showing a little bit of a rain chance there for Sunday morning. Does not look like a washout though, but we're kind of right on the fringe there where it looks wetter south and southwest. So Sunday getting clipped by that system in the morning especially. And then as we go into Monday, that's looking pretty wet. That's Memorial Day Monday. And with that rain around and with an east breeze into a low pressure system out to our west, that means a good potential of some showers there for Monday. And then that system is still around Tuesday with kind of some showery conditions, and then hopefully out of here by the middle of next week. This is just that weather pattern that we've been dealing with. We get a couple day break, 2 or 3 day break maybe, and then you're back into some unsettled days. This overall north flow in the atmosphere is winning out over the next maybe 2 weeks. Even into the first week of June, I don't see a large-scale weather pattern change for us. So we'll still have plenty to talk about here in the long-range outlook. Now, if you go to convection, a lot of times I will look at the supercell composite, and if this lights up, that means watch out for some severe weather potential. So if you see on that map, did you see that blow up right there? That is where there's a slight risk of severe weather today to our southwest. So the supercell composite puts together the ingredients we talk about, the fuel for storms, the shear. It combines those into one parameter. And then it gives you an easy way to look at where severe weather might happen. That's very low there. That's off to the southwest. That is not going to be a severe weather chance for us. As we look ahead, nothing all the way through the weekend, nothing Monday. That's Monday afternoon, very tiny off to the south. This goes all the way into June now and all the way to June 6th. If that holds true, the supercell composite is very low, meaning we don't have to worry about severe weather for a long time. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have rain chances. We're probably going to get some showers and some rain every now and again, but the severe weather threat, super low for us in this pattern that we have over the next couple of weeks. And a large part of that reason is because the cooler than normal temperatures, we don't have that big time fuel for storms heading our way. Speaking of cool temperatures, we'll take a look at those in just a second. Good morning from Gary and Janet Hutchins. Thanks for watching here this morning. And Michael Montgomery, good morning to you. Saw some awesome pictures on your page, I believe, yesterday. So it looked like maybe some mammatus clouds from those storms. I know Michael gets that drone up sometimes and takes some awesome shots with the drone, and just as on-the-ground photography as well is pretty impressive. So go check out Michael Montgomery's Facebook page. He's got some cool stuff there. All right, let me go ahead and bring up some of the weather graphics here. So as I was mentioning, I'll go ahead and bring this up full screen. This is 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. So not what we want when we're trying to warm up the pools and trying to get into this unofficial start to summertime. Eastern 2/3 of the United States. So anything in blue is above normal temperatures for below average temperatures. Above normal chance, below normal temperatures. Hopefully that makes sense. And then you got out west, anything in red or orange, that is above normal chances for above normal temperatures. So obviously, blue, think cool, red, think warm. Above normal temperatures out west, where there's a ridge of high pressure. We're more under a trough. We've talked about that in the jet stream, where it fills in with that cool air. And that is a bullseye of cool over the Ohio Valley, right over the top of us. So not normal necessarily to be in late May and closing in on June with highs in the 60s, but that's what we're going to have. We're going to see some lows in the 40s for a couple nights as well. Might have the furnace kicking on a little bit at nighttime, or at least shutting off the AC for a little bit. But if you're a temperate person, if you like it a little bit cooler, you might actually really enjoy this. And you can open up the windows. It's been I would say overall kind of a slow spring. We haven't hit 90 yet. The warmest 86, I think, is this year's warmest temperatures. So we really haven't had summer trying to take over very quickly yet. So that is the 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. We can go to 8 to 14 day. So this would be a couple weeks out. And that's kind of what I'm seeing as well. That is below normal temperatures still out possibly 2 weeks. Yeah, we might get a day or two that shoots up above normal, but this is kind of the trend overall when you average it out over the next couple of weeks with those temperatures. The monthly, that typically it doesn't really do a whole lot. It doesn't show any specifics very well with the monthly. As far as precipitation, that's just showing, that's the 8 to 14 day outlook. That's showing we're kind of in the middle. It looks wetter than normal over the south, drier than normal over the north and northwest, and then we're kind of in the middle. We're going to get on and off rain chances there. This is the 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. I'm going to turn that off. We're going to go to the Storm Prediction Center again. Today, no threat of severe weather or any thunderstorms for us as we stay dry. That threat of severe weather off to the southwest of us over parts of Arkansas and southwestern Missouri. Tomorrow's severe weather outlook. Things are settling down over much of the United States. This is, I believe, yesterday was the 8th day in a row of damaging storms at some point in some place in the United States. So after kind of a quiet start to May, the last over a week has been rough as far as severe weather, and the death toll as well last weekend. Just tragic there in southeastern Kentucky, as they're going to be cleaning up for a long time. So good that we are seeing a quieter weather pattern. That is a low-level severe weather threat, day 3. That's in the Great Plains out west, so that's a very small risk, and no risk there, day 4. So things, again, kind of settling down severe weather-wise across the United States. All righty. And we will bring back up the forecast and kind of wrap things up as we are now 37 minutes in. You can see right here, backwards. See the tree here blowing a little bit. The winds are picking up behind me right there on Market in New Albany. You can see some of the traffic driving by as well. So we're picking up some breezes today. It'll feel a little cooler than the actual temperature. The sunshine will be nice. One of those days where you feel the warmth of the sun, but also it's counteracted by that breeze that might be around 15 to 30 miles per hour. So as we get that lower sun angle for after school events outside, think about that breeze too. Might want that extra layer to stay comfortable outside for this evening. And we've got Jeanette Pierce. Good morning. Have a good day. Thank you for the well wishes. You have an awesome day as well. And we're going to bring back up that forecast. And I want to thank everybody for the awesome pictures yesterday as well. That is looking strange there. Let me try to see if I can load that back up. That's a weird one. You see that, Jason? There's some kind of glitch where there's a little haze over the forecast page. That is very strange. I'll try to get rid of it and then add it back on. See if I can do that. Oops. Get rid of that. Bear with me just a second. Boom, that fixed it. There we go. So yesterday, I don't know if you saw this, I started the show with this morning. Michael Harden, Big Ben, good morning. Hey, Michael, I said 7, 8 o'clock yesterday, and that's when we had the rain, and boom, we had the rain, unfortunately. Here is a look at the beautiful rainbows. Michaela Howard in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. This was one of the longest lasting rainbows I've ever seen in my entire life. It happened at about 7:30 to 8:30. If you had a chance to see it, it was big and bright, full double rainbow. Haley Teeter sharing this one from Corden, Indiana. Jennifer Eversman from Borden, Indiana, the double rainbow. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. You called it. All right, lots of birds out there in the Bird Nerd segment. So you got the tufted titmouse. You've got all of some ones we don't see very often as well, as songbirds, the Baltimore Oriole, the scarlet tanager, eastern wood pewee. And let me, I was going to bring up the bird migration map as well. Maybe the birds were kind of dodging the storms last night, but they were very busy this morning. High at 72 for today, partly sunny, mild and breezy, west wind around 15 to 30 miles per hour. And just taking a peek at the migration last night. Yeah, it looks like they're still migrating. I'll pop this up. So this is the bird migration map. This is birdcast.info, and this is the migration estimated birds last night. So maybe they were chilling a little bit with that storm, coming in behind the storm perhaps, showing 150 million birds, but we've seen this up to 700 million birds. And then here comes the sunrise line, and then the birdies settle down a bit during the daytime. So still peak bird migration time. I'd say the one issue today is just the breezy conditions. Could have some gusts up to near 30 miles per hour. That play ball forecast, it was a complicated one yesterday. It had our games suspended. Today it looks like we'll get all the games, no problem. Just a little bit breezy out there. Upper 60s, low 70s, probably feeling a bit cooler than that. And JK's popping in with, hey, Ben, glad to see some cooler weather, less chance of severe weather. Exactly my point. It is good that we can not worry about severe weather and just kind of take a breather here for a moment. And there's a lot of cleanups from severe weather where they got hit, mainly south of us. So tonight's forecast, down to 52 degrees. Might be nice to crack open the windows, listen to some of the critters out there. Partly cloudy, northwest wind at around 5 to 15 miles per hour. And want to remind you, you can go to extolmag.com/weather. And you're going to find a lot of different resources right there, including that all-important 7-day forecast. So tomorrow, 66 degrees. That is about 10 to 15 degrees below normal for this time of the year. About a 30% chance of an isolated afternoon, evening rain shower. Looking at upper 60s Friday, Saturday. Looking dry Friday and Saturday. Time to mow the yard, to get some things done around the house before the rain comes back in. It looks like Sunday morning looking pretty wet. We'll continue to fine-tune that forecast a bit, looking like upper 60s as well. And then Monday, Memorial Day, 72 degrees, 60% chance of some of that rain around the area on Monday. Still could see some lingering light rain, sprinkly activity on Tuesday with a high of 72. Looking at a lot of lower 70s as we head into early next week. So all below normal temperatures over this 7-day forecast. But we have some folks here looking at the bright side, like JK, saying below normal temperatures promotes less severe weather. That is also true. Alice Young saying looks awesome. I know a lot of you don't like the heat. I'm a heat person. Summer's my favorite season still to this day. And so I'd rather lean towards the heat, but I'm glad some of you appreciate the cooler temperatures. Easier on the electric bills too. I mean, this is perfect where we don't need the heat, we don't need the AC, and it's very good. Especially since I don't have any heat or AC in my truck out here. The blower not working right now, so I'm just cranking down the windows old school and loving this fresh air. So hopefully I'll get that fixed. I don't mind roughing it a little bit. Marcelin Wilson, love this cooler weather. So we've got some folks out there loving that cooler weather. Thanks for your comment there. As we begin to wrap things up, do want to give a Lisa Cutter saying, turned the AC off yesterday. Love it. Yeah, I would say all the way through the rest of this week, we could shut the AC off and crack open the windows. Listen to all those songbirds that are coming into the area and just enjoy the sounds of nature out there. And again, to our partners, we want to thank them as we wrap things up here on this Ben at 10. You can head over to ivytech.edu. Just head to locations, head to Sellersburg. That is our home location. And you can find all the information right there. Also, it's just an easy spot there, right around exit 9, I-65, Sellersburg exit. Pop in. Very friendly folks. They're going to help you on your way, whether you're in high school heading into college, whether you're in college, you want to make a change, whether you're 10, 20 years into a career, they are going to meet you where you are there at Ivy Tech. So check them out. Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com. They have personally helped us out with our roofing issues from storms recently. Got a really good friend that works there. And great family-owned business right out of Memphis, Indiana. They are hiring for a roofing repair technician. This could be a good career for you. Call them 812-294-3595. If you know somebody that's looking for some work, give them a shout out. Again, just give them a call, go to their website. You can apply there online, 812-294-3595. And our banking partners, NWSB, newwashbank.com, making online banking very, very easy, making person-to-person banking super easy with the friendly folks there, people you know wherever you go. Libs Paving also, by the way, one of the top asphalt paving contractor around the region. They are hiring too. Again, if you need a career, if you know somebody that needs a career, a job change, great folks here. Go to the upper right-hand corner, click on careers right there, and it's going to take you. I'm doing this right now, so easy to do. You'll find all the information about them and how to apply there as well. And I want to give Brad Weddington, he was just on. If you didn't see it, you can watch the replay. I had a great conversation. He had a beautiful view there in his backyard there in Henryville, Indiana. WeddingtonCustomHomes.com. If you're thinking about building or you want to know more about it, Brad is easy to talk to. He'll help you out through all of the different specifics and the intricacies of trying to build your own home. WeddingtonCustomHomes.com. Okay. Thanks to all the partners out there. And I will mention very, very quickly before we wrap it up 100%, if you too want to become a partner, if your organization, your business, we like to lift everybody up here in Southern Indiana and beyond, you can contact me, Ben, at extolmagazine.com, EXTOL magazine.com, Jason at extolmag.com. I've been averaging over 2 million views per month over the last 90 days on the content that I've been putting out. And of course, there's more reach through all of the channels on Extol Media as well, extolmag.com/weather, and just extolmag.com too. So thank you so much for tuning in. If there's no more comments, we will wrap things up. Did I miss any? I think we got them all on there. Thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday. Happy hump day out there. It is a beautiful May 21st. We'll see you tomorrow as we fine-tune that Memorial Weekend forecast, and we'll see you then.